and welcome to another episode of Loving Black with Tory and Teri.
That's right, it's us. We're here. It's Friday night, and we have a great show today, huh?
We do. We're highlighting and spotlighting some young aspiring talent as well as some academic scholars as well. So we look forward to talking to them. But first, hey, I want to thank my wife and my lovely wife, and Dr. Conti for last week's show.
Yeah, that was Ladies' Night. Those of you who joined that show and watched us, we had a marvelous time. We also, too, just kind of really quick, let's just introduce ourselves. You know, this is Loving Black with Tory and Teri. And so this is my husband, my handsome husband. This is Tory, and I am Teri. And we are your host of Loving Black here at A-Star Television. Last week was wonderful.
It was.
She called after and she was like, I enjoyed it so much. And it was really, we got a lot of comments and responses and people, getting in touch with us just saying, I really like that show. So maybe, I know, I can't do my eyebrow like that. He can do it, I can't do it. But think about this. Maybe you guys, you and some of your guy friends come together and do a segment on the women.
I think that's
I don't know what you're going to call it. If you're going to call it Love in the Cave or what, I have no idea.
Nah, actually, I already been thinking about that with a couple different groups because this is a variety show after all. So we want to, I got some guys that we want to get together and kind of pick your brain. Hey, you guys know that old saying, men are from Venus and women are from Mars.
Men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
See, she's always correcting us.
So, that's the
but
book.
but anyway, point is that we speak different languages a lot of times, and communications, as everyone knows, is the number one killer in marriages. People think it's infidelity and things like that, but we find that with infidelity, people can seem to work through their issues and all, but communications is the big key. So
communication is huge in everything. Yeah, in everything.
So me and a couple of guys were talking the other day, and I was going to ask you to give up your chair.
I would be glad to. I'd take the night off and just kind of, watch it from home. So yeah, I'd be glad to.
Yeah,
I would oblige that.
So I think we might want to have a men's night where we ask all of those questions that we want to know about the Venus woman.
Oh gosh. But the good thing is it still gives us a peek as women. So I'm sure you'll have a lot of viewers with that too, because this is interesting. Yeah. Everybody wants to know. There's so many questions of why. Yeah. And that's what we did last week. Why do men? But tonight.
But hold on. Well, speaking of last week, I would be remiss if I mentioned Dr. Conti, but I forgot to mention my boy.
Oh yeah. Brother David Burris. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Thank you for holding it down, David. I was in the wings just listening, but thank you, brother, for holding it down. He gave a lot of great introspect as to how men think and how we react in certain situations and all.
Yeah, he's very anointed, very powerful word from him. Yeah. And I knew that, been following him for years and would send his stuff to the young men in our family.
Yep.
The husbands and our sons and would send that word. And I just thought when I, thought about it, I was like, oh my God, he could really bless us, and then to have it be the ladies' night, and it just all worked out. So Thank you once again, Brother Burris, David Burris, yes. But tonight, I'm going to say it again, dun, dun, dun.
Tonight, I'm glad she got rid of that funky drum roll. But now she's like, dun, 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 dun.
Funky drum roll, dun, 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 dun. That's my thing now. Dun,
That's
dun,
her thing
dun,
now, okay. But so tonight's show is entitled Young, Gifted, and Black, because we're highlighting 3 aspiring young adults. I know they don't get mixed up with titles, so some people call them millennials, some people call them Generation X, and now Generation Y. So we just want to pick their brains because the 3 guests that we have on tonight are 2 are still in college and 1 is already graduated. But we're going to talk about life, on the grind, right? They're so focused. They're doing what they do so because they understand the big picture that's ahead of them. So my wife, I think, no, my wife mentioned last week about the demographics that we hold with our shows.
Right.
And I think she said 15 years old, but
I stand corrected. I
but
think it was
it's 18.
Is it?
It's our analytics prove it's 18 to 65. So we have a
18 to
very
65.
broad range here when it comes to our listening audience. So we decided that we were going to do something tonight for the young adults. So since they're such a big part of our demographics.
Yeah, and I mean, they're the ones that's going to be running the world, right? Thank God. Because they've got such a vision.
Yes.
And tonight we have 3 of the finest,
Yes.
really and truly.
Yes. So we have one that we're going to talk to first. She's a graduate of PVU, Prairie View University, right here in Texas.
We're spotlighting her, yes.
Yes. And then we have, every time I hear someone that goes to Brown, I always say or think Rhodes Scholar, but we have a young man that's attending Brown University. And then we have a treat. We have our niece.
Yes.
And she is going to Harvard.
Yeah, she's at Harvard.
Ivy League.
She's
Ivy
there.
Leagues.
She's at Harvard. Yes,
Yes.
that's where she is. And this is her 2nd year.
Is it fan time already?
It's fan time. Yeah, it's definitely fan time. Lots of lights. Fan time.
So anyway, we want to highlight these 3. We want to show our younger audience this is what you can do. You don't necessarily have to be involved in a relationship, and people think that they have to have this going on and this going on. Well, it's very important that you, 1, get your education first. 2, focus on your career aspirations and your family goals. And 3, then decide if you're going to get married after a certain amount of time. I always tell, we tell our children, hey, get yourselves together first, academically, financially, and all. And that way you're more prepared for when you do start to raise a family, right?
Yeah, and you know what? It doesn't even have to be that. I mean, it's just something you should do, period. It doesn't have to be, contingent upon the fact that you're going to start a family. You may choose not to. Not everybody's doing that. And that's the thing. Not everybody's getting married. We're going to talk to them about that just the same.
Exactly.
A lot of different values nowadays with the young gifted and just the younger ones, period. Those that are driven and they're focused. So, yes, we just ask for all of our guests today to just come with their truths as we go in and dig in deep of what it is to be young, gifted, and Black. We're gonna talk to him. Are you kind of excited to talk to him?
I'm very
You
excited.
have a lot of
to talk to
questions
him.
and stuff? I got
I
all this
always
stuff.
have a lot of questions and all. But we're gonna go to our first guest. And we're gonna, because we have a lot of questions, like you just said, I think we're gonna interview her first, and then we'll go to commercial. How about that?
Okay, that works. That works. Want to bring it?
You want to?
Can I bring her on?
Please.
Bring her on? We have, ladies and gents, this lovely woman. She's a recording artist. She's also, she's a songwriter?
Songwriter, recording artist.
She's really, really talented. This is our PV student. And she is Houston's finest, one of the finest of the 3. And she is here with us today. We have her. This is Taylor Hendrix, a.k.a. Kloutboy.
Kloutboy.
Yes, give it up. Hi, Taylor.
Hello, guys.
How you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you all?
Good.
We're great. Hey, it's Friday night.
Awesome.
You could be anywhere, but we thank you that you're here with us.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
I appreciate the opportunity.
We really
glad to have
appreciate you, and we are glad to have you. Hey, your mother and I sang together for a couple of years and all, and we were thinking about, my wife and I were thinking about, we need some lyrics to our theme song, because we have been running our theme song for the past year, and it just
on
sounded
the radio
jazzy.
and all, yes,
And
the instrumental.
Yeah, and your mom sent you our instrumental and asked you to help her out. And from my understanding, 5 minutes?
Oh, she said you just came up with something.
You just
like,
came up with something just like that. So
that's the gifted. That's the
That's
gifted we're
gifted.
talking about. That is exactly what it is. You give them, beat, and then she just, I mean, how do you do that? How is that?
So basically, when I get the instrumental, I first feel a vibe out. Like, if I hear a beat, I'm like, okay, what's the mood? what's the vibe I give? What can I see or hear being placed on the instrumental? So I realized it was a smooth beat. It
Hmm.
was it was I don't know, it just had a groove to it. So, I just started adding words, found a melody, and just went from there. And usually that's just how I write all my songs. I go from a
Wow.
vibe and continue on from there.
Let me ask you this. How would you describe that? What was that vibe that you felt when you heard our theme song? What was it?
No, our
When I
instrumental.
heard the theme song, I was like, okay, it's not too slow. It has a groove to it. Um, I figured that since the beat wasn't too complex, it gave me a lot of room to, add certain words and certain melodies and build on top of that. And that's the vibe that I got from the
And
instrumental.
excuse me, and that's the gift. There it is, right there. You
Exactly.
see how
Thank you.
she used the terminology. She was talking about it wasn't too complex. She can hear the beat, the rhythm, and all. And there there, just the creativity. It just sparked
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, it just sparks. That is really, really good. I'm looking at her, and she's just looks just like her mom.
That's why I brought it up. I'm like, wow, standing next to Sanika, for a couple years and all singing next to her, and it looks like a slightly younger version of her.
Very
but
beautiful.
You
Yeah.
look
I
identical to
know.
your mom. This is amazing.
I
Hey,
know. Sometimes I'm like, where's my father's jeans? I don't
I
see
was
it. I don't see it.
actually I was just about to bring him in. So you are from a talented musical family. Your mother sings, your
Yes.
father plays guitar. Man, what's that
Yes.
like being? What was that like being in
You
a
know what?
household?
Can we just hold that thought? We got to go to a commercial. But we'll be right back after this moment.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Ron Carter Cadillac, Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, delivers test drives to your home or office, like the new 2020 XT4 Premium Luxury, only $359 a month, the new 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury, $399 a month, or the first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury, just $499 a month, all for 39 months lease with just $1 down, or purchase and choose 0% APR for 60 months plus $1,500 bonus cash. Visit RonCarterCadillac.com.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, truck accident, car accident? Was someone texting and ran into the back of you, not paying attention? It doesn't matter what it is. Give me a call, Attorney Willie Powles. We'll fix it today. The number is 281-881-2457. Again, that number is 281-881-2457. We'll fix it today. Call Attorney Willie Powles.
Ron Carter Cadillac, Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, delivers test drives to your home or office. Now purchase the new 2020 Escalade and enjoy $9,500 in total purchase allowance, plus 2.99% APR for 72 months with no payments until 2021. Or drive the 2020 Escalade for only $799 a month for 39-month lease with only $1 down. Ron Carter Cadillac. Visit RonCarterCadillac.com.
Hey, and welcome back. We are still in the process of interviewing 3 young, gifted, and black people. I'm gonna say I was about to say something else, but we are glad to have our guests here. So we're gonna go back to Taylor and ask her a couple more questions before we get into everyone else.
Taylor, are you there? There she is.
Yes, I'm back.
Hey,
Hello
darling.
again.
Hey, I got a question. You have, there's Taylor Hendrix, but then there is the brand and the songstress or the artist, Kloutboy. Tell us about Kloutboy. It's Kloutboy in quotes.
Yes.
How did that come about? Kloutboy.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that name came about. In college, I was making beats originally for money because I didn't have a job or a car at the time.
There was a
So
job.
when
Yeah.
yeah, I know, right?
Businesswoman.
But yeah, I know. I tried as much as possible.
That's good.
But as I was making beats in college, I was the only girl who made beats and that a lot of people knew of. So in the business world, I'm a business major. The term clout is like a score. So it's like the better your business does, the more clout you have.
Yeah.
So we kind of, as millennials, we took the word and kind of used it as our own thing. And so when you have clout, it's just like you're kind of well known popularity wise. So took the clout, and then if you didn't know who I was, it's kind of ironic just because I'm a girl. So if you didn't know who I was, it's just like, oh wow, how ironic. So it's just like a mysterious thing going on, and that's how I got that name, Kloutboy.
I get it, and I like it. So
Yeah.
it's really cool because,
Thank
like you said,
you.
the mysterious thing is you get this reputation. It's like, oh wow, you heard Kloutboy, Kloutboy's beats or this and that, and then you walk in the room with all this glamour, and it's like, oh, that's Kloutboy. I love it. That's the conversation piece from the beginning in just doing business.
you.
You know,
Yeah.
It kind of takes, it kind of breaks the ice.
And where did the boy come in at?
Basically, like I said,
Mystery.
I just wanted it to be kind of like a mysterious concept. You would think that I would be a boy based off of, just the name itself, but until you see me, it just kind of throws off, like, I guess, all assumptions that you might have about me.
The element of surprise.
That's kind of where the boy came in.
It
Yes.
definitely
A
threw me
surprise
off.
element.
It definitely
Yes.
threw me off. When we received your media kit, your press kit, we were, I'm thinking, Kloutboy? What is boy? It had to
It's
do
like,
with
why would she go with that? And it's like,
Yes.
but when you explain it, and like you said, clout, because we know what clout means, and to have that special favor, And so with you explaining that and then putting the boy on, like I said, it does. It's an element of surprise. And it's also, just like you said, it's like, don't assume.
Yeah.
Don't assume.
I have a question.
I like it.
So we know that you can write songs because you did one for us, which is fabulous. But have you
Thank
written
you.
for anyone else or anyone that our audience may know?
Okay, so with that being said, I'm in the works of working with some mainstream artists. Can't talk too much about it just because, sign non-disclosures and can't get into all that. But I have worked with some artists in like the Houston, Dallas area, like this woman, she's a songwriter as well, but she focuses more so on being an artist and a singer. Her name is Mellow Des. She has a project coming out pretty soon. She's wonderful at what she does. And right now I'm just focused on trying to get my foot in the door in the mainstream industry. So that's where my focus is right now.
Let me ask you this. I mean, because you never know.
Never.
You never know.
Never know.
So who would you like to work with? If you could say something to them right now, who would you like to work with?
I would love to work with Chris Brown, one. I would like to work with Seven Streeter. She's a wonderful R&B singer. Like, I think she's amazing. And then my favorite female rapper, Nicki Minaj.
Oh, there it
Nicki
is.
Minaj,
So
okay.
she put it out there, you guys. There's a message in the bottle
did.
right there, here on Love
Right
and
there,
Rock.
claiming it.
Yes,
Claiming it,
yes. I
claiming
hear
it.
you. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You never know.
Exactly.
We've got a couple others here too.
Yeah.
That you got company today. So
we brought
I
you
do.
we brought you some company.
Yeah.
So
Yes, wonderful people.
Yes. So our second guest tonight, he is a graduate of Xavier University, and now he's doing his graduate studies at Brown. So another Ivy Leaguer. Want to welcome Myles Bartholomew.
Yay!
Hey, Myles.
Hey, Myles.
Everything's great, man.
Yes, I'm glad to have you. Sit tight. We've got another one of our finest. This is so dear to me. This is our niece. This is my sister's daughter. This is Treasure Brooks, and she's at Harvard. Second year at Harvard. Treasure?
Hey, Treasure.
Hey, gang's all here.
Gang's all here.
Everybody's here. Good.
We made it.
Yes. To be young, gifted, and black, that is you all. And that is a blessing to have that anointing. I know you guys take it seriously. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
And we love it, and we want to hear more about it. Just what is going on with y'all? What are you thinking? What are you living? How is it that you do it?
Exactly. So the term young, gifted, and black is a term from our generation. But when we approached you guys to do the show with us and we told you what the theme was, what came to mind? Young, gifted, and black. Myles, you want to go first?
Oh, okay. We're gonna have the gentleman go first. We're switching it
I
today,
know.
ladies. We're gonna
I'm picking
give the
Well,
platform.
I was just picking since no one
platform to
jumped
Myles.
at it.
No, for me personally, I would have to say, of course, I picked up a lot from my HBCU. So everybody has a lot of different gifts. The diversity and talents that people can have and possess is amazing, especially amongst Black people. And I think it's really kind of like a manifestation of everything that has been sowed into us as the younger generation. And now we're able to really present it on all these different platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and all these different mediums. So I think that's really awesome. Even in the sciences, that's what my field is. And we're kind of making our mark in all those areas.
Interesting.
What is your field of study? What are you studying?
So I'm at Brown studying molecular and cellular biochemistry.
Ooh.
You got them $25 words up in there.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. You know, I think the thing that I think of you all, and just like when you said HBCU, our daughter graduated from HBCU as well. And it really reminds me of the things that we saw, honey, like, you know, the United Negro College Fund. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. I'm so glad that you guys are an intentional age. You know, I mean, the fact that that word has risen and it is now a hashtag, people are really living intentionally. And so, I mean, again, I can't keep saying that's why you're here. So very proud of you. And it's not just of you all, of course, there are different levels, but these kids are really, and I don't, you know, when I call you guys kids, you know, I mean it from the heart, but everyone is really on a mission.
Yep.
And there was so, you know, we had so much of different, the ages of, you know, the drug era and all these things, especially when you started talking about the 70s and the 80s and all. It was, you know, you guys made a real big shift. You really did. You know, as a people, you have for our people. And I mean, does it come from your parents? Where does this come from with you all? Each one, you know, I mean, Treasure, can you tell us, like, what is it that, how did you get to this place that you're just like, I have on blinders and I am going to make it happen? You know, I mean, what is it?
Well, for me, a really motivating force is my community. My community back in Oakland, my family base, but then also just the Black community at large. I think that right now, being young, gifted, and Black, it's not just about getting notoriety or wealth for yourself, but we're really looking to elevate the entire Black race because we've been positioned so well to do that in recent years because of trailblazers that have set us up for this, because of the Obama administration coming into politics. We're really living in a transformative era. And I think that young Black people have just grabbed hold of this and ran with it. And so I personally recognize that to be true. And with the support of my family, with you, Auntie, and my mom, and just having strong Black role models to look after me, I was set up for this success, I think. I kind of inherited this mission from all the people that came before me.
Amen,
like
and
that.
well said.
I
Yes,
like that.
indeed.
You know, and coming up in our generation, we really didn't listen to a lot of what, you know, our older generation was trying to teach us, right? And then as we become older, we really, you know, understand, wow, they were instilling these values and they were instilling these things within us, right? And she was just a perfect personification of
Treasure.
Treasure of all of that. So very eloquently spoken there. I love that. I love it.
That's why she's where she is.
I know, right?
But you know, it's the interesting thing that I find, again, you know, we have kids and everybody's wired so differently than when we were coming up. You guys
Exactly.
know, whereas I know when I was younger, I sensed there was something different about me, but nobody could really tap into it. You guys have tapped into. We were watching the Cam Hill show. He had Donald J. Pliner on, and Donald J. Pliner, shoes that he's made for different movie stars and all, and then, Beverly Hills, New York. But he was gifted as an artist, and he didn't realize who he was. He didn't really, he tapped into it, obviously, because he was very successful, but really knowing where that came from and being able to articulate that and then lead with it and let it be the wind beneath your wings. You guys, I hear you say, Treasure, that you're, the Obama administration and the years and the trailblazers, but you guys, did your parents speak into you from a young age? Did they notice and you guys discover your talents and your gifts and then started to feed that? Because like I said, when we were coming up, we just kind of stumbled upon it and went with it and just, but it wasn't something that you could really recognize. It's not tangible, obviously. So how is it, you guys? Did your parents really sow into you? And we'll start with you, Taylor. Let us know, how is it? Did they speak it over your life?
I would definitely say that they spoke it over my life, coming from a musical background. My dad played guitar, drums, bass, a little bit of keys. My mom sung. When we were of age, we were... Hello?
Are you there?
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
From a young age, we were thrown right into the kids' children's choir at church. So from an early age of 7, maybe, we were thrown in the choir, and that's how it started. And I guess from that seed, it just grew into something to where I am now, of course. I definitely appreciate them pushing me to my fullest potential. Whatever I wanted to do with music, they supported. I played the band. I was first chair with flute, and they just pushed me to be great at whatever I did and don't stop, just keep going. So definitely my parents had a big hand in my development.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's good because now you're on a track. So when you're younger, we had our guest David Burris, who was saying at 9 years old, he knew that he wanted to be a counselor. And so it's good, early on, that's good. And you stuck with that. And that right there is focus and clarity. So now you have something to shoot for. Yeah. How about you, Myles? How did you know? Was it, did your parents, did they speak this into you? Did you have a chemistry set when you were younger? What was it?
They definitely invested in me in multiple ways. I think that I was always a kid that was told to go outside. And we just so happened to have a pool outside, so I would get into the chemicals that you put in a pool, and I would start mixing baking soda and vinegar at a really young age, which is not good. You should not do those things at home. Not put kids. But I was doing that, and then I had amazing teachers. Oh my gosh, my mom went through all types of hoops to make sure that I was in the best schools. In Fort Bend, I went to Clove Valley Middle School. I went to Hightower Medical Academy. And I had amazing teachers that really sewed into me a lot and told me that I could do whatever I wanted. And science is everywhere around you. So that's kind of where I said, okay, if science everywhere, I'm going to be able to do science in whatever field I want to. So, yeah, that's kind of
That's good. That's awesome. Hey, baby, you mind if I shift the conversation a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So
here we go, you guys.
Part of the reason, other than what we just discussed, right, that we brought you guys on, because again, we have a vast demographic, and it starts at 18. You guys aren't too far from 18. We've done a couple of shows on our radio show where millennials, Generation Y, Generation X, all you guys had a different take on either marriage or dating. What's going on? And I'm gonna use a term that I heard, and this is our show, so I can say it. Why is millennial dating so screwed up?
I'm gonna ask this. Do tell.
Who wants to go first? Who's
this
the dater?
This is Love in Black. And just so you all know, Love in Black means your love is in the positive.
Exactly.
Because black means the positive. When you think of accounting and, in red, you're not a deficit. You're in the positive. And so this is Love in Black, love in the positive. So we want to hear what's really going on. See, your parents see that student and all, but we want to get with you guys and find out what's going on behind the scenes.
What's going on?
What's happening behind the scenes?
When the parents drop you guys off, what's happening at the party here?
I think I think with like the use of technology, how we all have cell phones, you know, when we go to parties, sometimes people are less interactive because they're too into recording the party rather than actually living in the party and actually being there. I would have to say with social media as well, sometimes you'll see something on your timeline of somebody in a relationship and they get this big grand thing and just like, oh, that's what I want. And then like you expect it, but sometimes it's not like the reality of things of what you might get. And then you just feel let down or you just feel some type of pressure. I think that's sometimes what has which plays a part in, I guess, like your view on relationships. I do know that I want to get married, but I'm 24 right now and I see like life is no game and I'm waiting until the right time to where I'm like financially stable enough to carry whatever I need and just making sure I just take the time to find that right person. So that's kind of where I am with relationships and marriage. Yeah.
How do you deal with dating?
How do I deal with dating? Surprisingly, I mean, I don't know. It's not going too well. Like I guess maybe quarantine. I don't know.
Right.
Like, after I graduated college and came back home to Houston, it was almost like it was just like starting over. It was like post grad, just different, and you know, you just got to figure out ways to live without, you know, being in the routine of being in college, being around the same friends and everything. So going out is just like, you can put yourself out there. It's like, is that person going to feel you back? Like, are they going to give you a chance like you're giving them? I guess it's just a lot of different factors that play into it. But for me, dating has not been good at all.
Well, you know what? Hey, the best is yet to come. We'll be right back. We're going to go. Don't go away. We'll be right back, you guys.
Ron Carter Cadillac, Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, delivers test drives to your home or office, like the new 2020 XT4 Premium Luxury, only $359 a month, the new 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury, $399 a month, or the first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury, just $499 a month, all for 39 months lease with just $1 down, or purchase and choose 0% APR for 60 months plus $1,500 bonus cash. Visit RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Ron Carter Cadillac, Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, delivers test drives to your home or office. Now purchase the new 2020 Escalade and enjoy $9,500 in total purchase allowance, plus 2.99% APR for 72 months with no payments until 2021. Or drive the 2020 Escalade for only $799 a month for 39-month lease with only $1 down. Ron Carter Cadillac. Visit RonCarterCadillac.com.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, truck accident, car accident? Was someone texting and ran into the back of you, not paying attention? It doesn't matter what it is. Give me a call, Attorney Willie Powles. We'll fix it today. The number is 281-881-2457. Again, that number is 281-881-2457. We'll fix it today. Call Attorney Willie Powles.
Hey, and we're back.
We're back.
And we're talking to three aspiring young, gifted, and black people here. We got Taylor Hendrix, Treasure Brooks, and Myles Bartholomew.
Yes, the three finest are in the house tonight. Hey, y'all.
Exactly.
Hey, listen, Treasure, I got a question. Got a question for you. So we didn't get to touch on you. Tell us what it is that's your field of study. What are you studying, darling?
So I'm studying history. I'm doing a joint concentration between history and visual studies.
Oh, what is your goal? What do you want to do?
Oh, that's a good question. So it's changed a lot. It's changed a lot. I'm really interested in filmmaking, and right now I'm working with a media company as a video producer.
Beautiful.
And I'm finding ways to tie in. I also do research, so I work with a publishing house and I edit books. Actually, my first book that I edited is out, and it made #1 in women's history. So yeah, so I'm finding ways, like different ways to tap into my skills. Thank you.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
It is.
Okay, so question. Is there, we're asking so you guys can think about it, but treasure's on deck. Anyone have a love interest at this time?
So I'm actually still with my high school sweetheart. I'm still with the person I've been with since I was 17. Yeah.
Amazing.
That deserves a fan.
Her and his fan.
How cute.
Yeah.
Really? So now, is your high school sweetheart, is he in school also?
Yeah, he's a Division I football player at University of San Diego.
Okay.
Ooh,
D1.
so you guys are doing East Coast, West Coast. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
How is
awesome.
that? How's that working out? How you guys intentional?
I mean, it's difficult. I think that kind of speaking to what Taylor was saying before, it's hard this generation with technology and the way that couples are perceived as sort of like accessories or like something cute. Like when you're actually in a relationship and trying to make it work, especially as a young person doing long distance, it's difficult. Like you find that it's not all Instagram posts and YouTube videos. Like you have to, especially when you go from being a teenager with someone to like growing into adulthood with them, you know? So I think that I've been, that have really helped keep us together. Honestly, God is definitely one, like situating our relationship in faith and like in the idea that so long as we're feeding into each other's destinies and each other's goals, like, and it's healthy, like there's no necessary reason to kind of go off into the dark. I don't feel like dating. I don't want to get to know a ton of different people, honestly. Like I love the man that I'm with, and I'm really proud of not just how we've grown as a couple, but I'm proud of who he's grown into as a man. So yeah, it's been a beautiful journey.
Yeah. That's wonderful. That's
Myles,
wonderful.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
That's the way to do it too.
Yeah, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you got any love interest going on there, Brown, already?
I do, yeah.
Oh, I'm loving this.
Here. Yeah. So millennials have relationships.
Yeah, don't believe the hype, right? Don't believe the hype.
Hey, let me ask you something. Because you just said something very interesting. You said millennials have relationships. Millennials also have situationships. What's the difference?
Very true. But I think that situationships are, I don't think they're generational. Clearly, we've seen in current situations happening. I won't say any celebrity names, but I think that everybody has their fair share of ups and downs when it comes to relationships. It is common that, you know, with us being more media, that a lot of it gets more televised and around like the negatives, but I haven't had any real. I'm going strong, so
yeah.
Now, is your girlfriend in school as well?
Yeah, so we both met at well, she goes to Loyola and I'm at Xavier, which is down the street, and we were both born, or she lives in Birmingham right now, but yeah, I'm now doing a long distance thing too.
Oh, what's her field of study?
She is in entertainment industry, so she wants to be an entertainment lawyer. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Oh my God! Look at this! I am so proud of this generation. You guys are just doing it. I love it. I love it. We're in good hands. We're in good hands.
Yeah.
We're in good hands.
Yeah. You heard what Taylor said.
What'd you say, Taylor?
I said, tell her to hit me.
Okay.
Us too. Yeah.
That's right. That's why we're here.
Exactly.
We're definitely here to all, reach one, teach one, and definitely, it's keep it all in the family, right? That's good. That's really good.
Sure.
That's right. Hey, I'm gonna go with you, Taylor, because you were talking about family at first. So,
okay.
Do you think that your generation struggle with marriage? Because, like I mentioned earlier, we have interviewed different age groups and all, and we find out that one or two things with your age range: either they don't want to get married because they've seen different things and they don't believe in marriage. Or two, my wife mentioned it earlier, the I word, intentional. They want to be intentional about what's happening. they want to get married,
Right.
but they want to make sure, like you said earlier, Taylor, that your finances are in order and education is in order. What do you think about that?
I think that with our generation, we're not too much in a rush because I would have to say, like, I guess, like, hearing the stories that my parents have told me about, like, not too much opportunity to either, like, go to school or have more things planned for them because of, like, the area that they were in. And I think more so, I don't want to say back then, but previously it was like you go through high school. If you have a boyfriend graduating, you're more than likely probably going to get married, because if you don't go to school, what's next? Like, what's next? So I think with us now, we have more opportunity to actually, like, find what we like to do. We definitely, like, build on where we want to be and what we're doing now. So I think it's a difference just because we're not really just aiming straight for marriage. Like, we want to build ourselves and make sure that we become the people who we want to be completely before getting involved into other things like that.
It's good too, because there's more opportunities than there were for your parents at the time, and there's more doors open now. And so you are now walking through those doors. Everybody's taking that leap. It's great.
Yeah.
That's great. You know, I think about it. We were talking about situationships and all, and just like Taylor was saying, she said, you know, not really happening right now. But this is the thing. It's like-minded, you know. I think that we were talking about it with Brother Barris about that high maintenance. And high maintenance not meaning being a sponsor, but just really in your level of where you are, that, you know, someone's got to, whoever your other significant other would be, would have to match that. And that's what's happening with Treasure and with Myles. And so even with others today, there's so many out there that are so driven. So how is it that you keep yourself in that type of circle, Taylor?
I keep myself in that circle, I guess, like, just knowing what I want for myself. I just don't accept really just anything. There's a lot of people that approach me thinking like, hey, I'm going to give you bare minimum. I'm just going to text you late at night or something like that. That doesn't go for me. Like, I absolutely do not like that. I don't respect that.
That's a situationship, I would imagine.
Yeah, like, and I don't do great with those. Like, I just demand respect because I would give that to somebody, and I wouldn't do that to somebody. So,
well, you want to be selective and definitely have standards and requirements, and don't be moved or shaken. You stay right in that place, and yes, it will happen. I'm glad to see that you guys are really juggling it all, though, and. You know, I mean, everybody, you guys think of marriage, and I'm not putting Treasure and Myles on the spot, but have you talked about it with I mean, because you guys are so focused and you know, you have your mate, is that something that you discussed? And we won't go too deep. I'm not going to try to, you know,
because they may be watching.
I know, of course they are. But but the question is, I mean, really and truly, do you guys have it so down pat that you're focused and you've got a plan laid out? My map looks like this, your map looks like that. And at this point, we're going to come together and just soar. I mean, what are the conversations when it comes to that? Or do you just deal with we're right here, right now, let's just walk together one step at a time? What is that really, the conversation? Treasure?
Well, for me personally, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
For me personally, I'm a huge believer that, like, specifically as a Black woman, like, I need to stay on my path, and my path is my path. And so I think that if you are in a relationship with someone who doesn't understand, you're not in the right relationship. Like I obviously want my relationship to you know, thrive, but I want to thrive first, and and that is my first priority. So at no point, like, obviously somewhere down the line, if we're still together, I would of course want to get married. But right now, my main priorities are, like, getting my money right, getting my degrees right. And, you know, if he's doing the same thing, then there's no reason why we can't stay together, right?
Yeah. Treasure, I have a follow-up question to that with you then. Since you know what you want and everything, why do you think that some men offer things that or require certain things from a relationship or from a woman that they can't even offer themselves?
I wish I could. I think
because you
that's
mentioned
not my story.
Well, you mentioned a couple
people are just. looking for a shortcut. I think people, especially young people, they try to use relationships as a shortcut to something. And like, I think women do it too. But at the end of the day, that really comes from not believing in your own ability to what you need to do and get what you need to get on your own. And I personally don't feel that.
No, and actually, that's the answer I was looking for. But I asked that question because we did hear that, this generation, certain men, and I'm not saying all of them, 'cause I would never do that, but certain men are requiring things of their girlfriend or a person that they're interested in that they can't even offer themselves. Maybe he's requiring that you have a car and drive him around because he doesn't. So
that's another
real.
lifestyle.
That's real.
That's another lifestyle. That's not their life. That's why they're young, gifted, and black, and they're three of our finest. How about you, Myles? You want to tell us about?
I definitely.
Go ahead.
What was that?
No,
Hold
go
on.
ahead.
I'll ask Myles this question. Myles, do you think that men of this generation are scared of commitment versus I'm talking about pre-Myles here. So pre-Myles, there's a lot of guys that, they prefer to, not have any titles such as husband or boyfriend. They just want to, date around or whatever. Even those that are sometimes married or have situations and they still want to be out there.
Well, I remember when you guys were younger, that you guys had that whole thing, with us, it was like, you pass a note, hey, will you be my girlfriend, check a box, yes, no, there was no maybe. But with your generation, you all are like, we're just talking.
Yeah.
We're just talking. You guys text forever. It's like, do you talk on the phone? Everything's text for a long time.
Do you even realize what commitment means, though?
What is that like? I mean, what is that from a male's point of view, Myles, for, you've got friends and all, not to really out them, but what is that?
Gosh, it can be really, really hard. I think everybody's different. I can speak for me personally, and then some of my closest friends around me, maybe. I definitely want to be married. I think that is the goal. I think I'm very intentional about my relationships and moving towards that because I have great parents. So I'm lucky and blessed to have a model of what that should look like, and I think that definitely puts you ahead in a lot of situations. And then there's work that has to be done. If you to find that either in your community or somewhere around you. So I'm lucky to have done that, or have somebody that forced that upon me. And it's
sold into you, not necessarily forced. We like to say sold into.
Yeah, so definitely sold into me. So I've had that example, and that's kind of what I emulate. And for the people around me, I think that people come from different backgrounds.
Yes.
And a lot of guys come from different backgrounds and a lot of different experiences. And whether you go in and look inside and say, hey, this is what I want, and that's where I'm going to move, or you choose to go the complete opposite way, it can vary. It definitely can vary. But I think anything that you want, especially I would say to ladies, anything that they want, if they focus on that, I'm a great believer in like the law of attraction, and you really calling and focusing on what you want and being so set on it that you really don't compromise in that area. There's definitely a minimum. So if ladies are looking for that and guys are looking for that in girls, I think we would streamline the process a little bit more.
Okay.
Hey, listen, we're going to wrap up soon. Just want to ask each of you the best advice that you've received once you received your letter of acceptance into school. What do you remember being told to you that was so rich and so valuable that you carry that with you, that it kind of gets you through and you remember it when you find yourself kind of getting off track?
Good question.
I mean, what was told to you, Treasure? Can you tell us what it was that kind of stays with you? We don't have much time left, but yeah.
Yeah, I think nothing that is for you will miss. Something that I've kept with me, just the idea that I'm always on the right path as long as I'm like following my God, my intuition, and what I know is true. But I can't lose what isn't for me.
Amen. Amen.
What about you, Taylor?
One of the things that I was told for advice was just to stay true to yourself and don't get lost trying to keep up with everybody else, because I am my own person, and just to stick with what I'm doing. Stay focused.
That's good.
Good. Myles?
Yeah, so my dad's is let your yeses be your yeses and your no's be your no's, as of course, and then my mom is keep your focus your focus. So those are the two that kept me most on track. Yeah.
Good advice. Good
That's
advice
good.
there. Yeah.
You guys, we're very proud of you, and we
All
will
of it.
definitely keep you in prayer because
Yeah.
we want to see you win. Please stay in touch with us. You know we're going to have a follow-up. You already know.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to
Thank
check
you.
back with you all. And, get in touch with one another. Taylor, blessings to you on everything
Thank
that you're
you.
doing.
Hold on.
You're going to give your information to
Yeah,
us
I
in
was
just
about
a
to say,
second.
Kloutboy, give us your information so people can know if they need a song written or a performance done. Give us your information there.
Okay, for all inquiries for songs, you can email me at cloutboywrote@gmail.com. That's KLOUTBOYWROTEIT@gmail.com. And my social media, Twitter and Instagram is cloutboy_.
Kloutboy wrote it and Kloutboy said it.
Okay, there it is right there.
I like that. I like that.
Blessings to you guys.
Yes.
Have a wonderful year. I know it's crazy with the virus and all. I don't know if you're sheltering in place. Some are on campus. I think Myles is on campus.
Yeah.
Treasure, I don't know if you're doing online, but blessings to you guys. Keep winning. Keep winning.
Yep.
So proud of you.
Stay focused, guys.
Be safe. Wear your
Thank
mask.
you as well.
Wear your mask.
Thanks.
Take
Thank you.
care.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Bye.
Man, what a great show and what an opportunity it was to speak with those that are focused, so focused. I didn't even have that type of focus when I was that age.
No.
Yeah.
Our era, I mean, I can't speak for all in our era, but I mean, it was just so free loving. You know, the 70s was funky and it was just, we were partying. We were partying.
FONKY.
But you know, the one thing that I do, I listen to them and I see them, and not everyone, as you could see, Taylor, this wasn't, Taylor's story is she went to PV, she went, they went to college. They don't have to be in these Ivy League schools. They're all winners. And your child that's going for their dream, that's what matters. As long as they're going for it intentionally and focused and they want to win and that they have good hearts and good people and good intentions. We're out of time. I enjoyed it, honey. You?
I did too. Hey, we want to welcome you guys back to see us again next Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for another edition of Love in Black with Tory and Teri.
Have a great weekend, y'all. Love you. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you soon.
See you.